that abysmal start against Team Envy as they got swept in that one. And right out of the gates, Squishy puts a shot on target, but first killer gonna get the save. And that's something that I want to keep my eye on here, Jorby, is Rogue. Can they clear the ball, and can they break out of their own half and create offense? And hey, right here we're seeing some offense on this side wall, but first killer elects to no, he gets the touch there, bumps Squishy. And I'm liking the aggression so far that we're seeing out of Rogue, and a little miscommunication there and a mishap on the orange half for NRG. And good save there from Garrett as he puts his head down and looked for first killer on the demo attempt, but nothing came to fruition out of it. As Turinturo puts this ball left side for Rogue. Justin gonna slow it down, wait on the demo for Garrett G, but Garrett G got demoed for his efforts as well. First killer trying to go with those solo plays. We know just how deadly he is in those 1v1 situations. He just hasn't had quite the opportunity to do so today. And I don't know if NRG's gonna allow him to do it here. Garrett G puts that ball over the head of the entire Rogue defense, and just like that, NRG with the first goal. And for Rogue, not a goal you want to give up out of the gates. You want to make sure you hold down that back line and not push too far forward, on offense. And that's exactly what we saw in that play. Garrett G trying to slow things down, and Justin, great rotations from NRG. And we've heard the desk stress it. We've heard every commentator that has watched them today just bring up the fact that how they're playing perfectly today, and how you feel bad just immediately for whoever has to face up against them, as Squishy can't get that ball out of his own half. First killer drops it down, and Garrett G gives his team a little breathing room. And Rogue keeping up some sustained pressure here as Turinturo gets a demo on Garrett G. First killer gets the pass, but Justin was there in the nick of time to save that ball away, and Justin has a little space to work with, can't get the dunk, trying to emulate that one that he had yesterday, and that one was a pretty one. He got the #1 highlight reel goal.
And honestly, Subi, we just saw NRG crush the Knights. They only allowed 1 goal in that series. Their defense was lights out, and they're doing the same thing to Rogue. Rogue are approaching that halfway point, still looking to get their first goal. NRG, they're warmed up and ready to go.
Yeah, and here comes Squishy. Dangerous play for Rogue. They're starting to get a little chaotic on their defensive end. They need to just calm down a little bit. And first killer didn't turn on that ball, and Justin punishes him.
And you look, first killer accidentally hits the post, I'm sure. You see him get the pad, and then, yet barely you saw him get on that post, and that prevents you from being able to jump right away. You need to be flat on the ground in order to get there. And that little misstep, that ended up costing them. NRG, they pick up right where they left off.
Man, and that is just goes to show you how good NRG is. You give them just the smallest amount of space, and they're going to make it look like a wide open hole, as Taroko has plenty of space to work with, but Justin not going to allow the backboard double tap as Garrett G. Does he have another one? No, but Squishy's there, and he whiffs it. He goes off the crossbar.
And you see Garrett giving Turo space. That easily could have been 3-0 NRG. Squishy didn't have that great of an angle to work with. It doesn't really matter. NRG, they keep control. Garrett with that block. Now Squishy comes in. Testing the backboard. Rogue only have 2 shots registered so far. Squishy gonna let Taroko take this to the corner. Now Garrett, this one is dangerously across the net. And now Justin wanted to take that airborne. Squishy will help him out.
And James, that was Rogue's first shot outside of the first minute of gameplay. That is just shows you what a testament it is to NRG's defense. I mean, they're so good at reading a team and quickly learning how to just prevent them from breaking into their own half.
NRG, they're having a tournament. Even last weekend, And now this weekend, being forced to make a long run through the lower bracket, but they have been picking up steam as they've been going.
Yeah, and I think Sizz sat down and had a talk with him and kind of said, hey, boys, I understand we dropped down to the lower bracket, but when we come out today, we need to go out there and let's have fun. Yes, because this team succeeds when they're having fun, but let's go out there and let's make a statement to the entire region. And so far, they have done so perfectly.
And you know, Garrett, he might be having more fun than anybody, judging by the plays that he's been putting on. It's been such a great day for all the players of NRG. And we might see one, we do see one drop in. Taroko keeps this one alive on kickoff. Maybe Rogue can get back into this one. We'll see.
And I think this was just a case of NRG kind of letting their guards down a little bit, thinking the game is over, but hey, time to wake up, boys. Still 4 seconds to go here in this kickoff. So important. Oh, the fake. Oh, the fake.
So there was definitely a play planned there. Didn't pan out, and NRG will take that first game.
That was awesome to see from NRG to come out and bait that kickoff, realizing that, hey, they're probably going to go for a fake here. And when a player's going for a fake, both their teammates are sitting back on defense, waiting for that ball to roll towards them. And you saw Garrett G just crush that ball into the corner on the ground. Smart heads-up play for him.
And Garrett, he's been crushing it all day long, whether it's going for demos, bumps, flip resets, shots, anything. He has been really playing lights out for NRG. NRG, they keep this whole steamboat going, and they are chugging along. And Rogue, on the other hand, it seems like they might have a hole in the front of their ship. I forget what it's called, the bow. I'm not
stern?
too.
I don't know.
Stern. Regardless, there is water pouring
into the
the
sailor,
ship.
brother.
And Rogue is sinking right now, getting swept by Envy, and now losing this first game against NRG. You can tell that it's not looking too pretty.
And for Rogue, you don't necessarily have to outplay NRG, but you definitely have to outsmart them, as Justin going for a flip reset doesn't come to fruition, as Squishy, big swing and a miss there in his corner. This is an opportunity for Rogue, but Garrett G gets that ball out of the corner, keeps his car going forward, and keeps that ball in the blue half. But Squishy had to rush back quickly to get this back to his own corner. And Rogue, this is a good opportunity. Turo with the shot, but Garrett G with the save. And another good stuff there from Garrett G, and it's a breakaway. Fast break all day for Garrett G, and NRG once again strike first. And for Rogue, again, they get caught pushing too far forward, and it's just an open net, and not what you want to see if you're a Rogue fan.
No, not at all. NRG starting out again. Game 2 will start with the lead. And Rogue still fighting after going down in a really tough loss to Envy, and those things stay in the back of your mind, Subi, is, you know, they gearing up against NRG as difficult as they come, and especially with how Squishy looked last game. Garrett starting off with a big goal. It only feels like it gets a lot harder for Rogue from here. Nice pass in front for first killer, but a good block as well.
Oh no, a mistake on the goal line. Turo sees it, and he goes in to tie up game number 2.
Yeah, nice job on taking advantage of the double commit was Taroko. Actually, 2 double commits where Garrett and Justin got tied up against each other. And that's one that NRG typically are able to clear out, Subi, but you know, Rogue, they'll take it where they can get it. Tying it up quickly can help reset the mind. First killer under the ball again, and right off the kickoff, already looking deadly.
Yeah, but if you're Rogue, don't count on too many mistakes to come out from NRG like that, as Garrett G saw that pass coming, cut it off, and was also looking for a shot. But yeah, Jorby, right now, Rogue, gotta feel good getting that goal back, but can't get too comfortable as NRG can strike at any time.
Garrett just trying to keep that ball away from Turo. He'll succeed. But then the follow-up just a little too slow. Justin had to come back from the whole way around his own corner. Pass in front again. Rogue are finding a lot of free passes in the attacking third, but Garrett will handle the next ball out. NRG certainly got to be careful whenever Rogue get down the field again, because they are finding the length or the seams, if you will.
Well, I think they're kind of allowing them to have that. They realize that they're pushing really far forward. They're getting shots because of it, and they've gotten 2 goals. And speaking of goals, Squishy gets another one for himself here as he extends the lead to 1.
I was watching this from Taroko's perspective. That first attempt wasn't good enough, and he got a pixel close to that ball. Just couldn't get to it in time. And that's a goal for Squishy, he's having himself quite a day. I think that it's been a while since I've seen Squishy truly pop off in a match with NRG, Subi. It feels like he's always playing second fiddle to either Garrett or Justin on the day, but everyone's playing third fiddle to First Killer and company. And Rogue tied up.
I've watched enough 1v1s to know what he is capable of, and my goodness, just barely scratches the paint of Squishy to get that ball over him. And the 1v1 skills on display from the Killer coming in first.
Already on the kickoff again, Rogue. So fast on the cheat up in front. So good at converting dangerous opportunities into goals against literally anybody else. NRG, 2 up in front of it again. NRG still not looking their stalwart selves in the rotation against Rogue right now. We've seen more than a couple of mix-ups in the positioning, and they've had to dive back for a couple of these. Turinturo finds the gap and hits the goal. 3 goals for Rogue.
How does he squeeze this under the crossbar? The accuracy on display from the young fella just rattles it right underneath. And that's all due to the power that he put behind that ball.
And that's where the spatial issues came in for me with NRG. They're constantly having to rotate probably a little farther back than they'd like to, unable to challenge or really win the ball in these midfield situations against Rogue. It started out pretty hot for NRG, but up in front, First Killer can't grab the ball. There's still a little bit of time. Justin getting the first 50 win, and this will be a tough chance for Rogue, but Turo's up to the task. Picking up that first save, Taroko gonna kick that back in reverse real quick, and First Killer and Turo try to get the clear.
That was a great save by Turinturo, using physics of the game there to just get in front of that ball and, hey, realize where it can go, and if I get here, it can't go, as Garrett G gets a nice save there and slows it down through the corner, waiting for his teammates to get back. First Killer takes out Justin, and Squishy, awkward in the corner, but somehow gets that ball over both players and gets the flick over Turinturo to create a fast break for Garrett G, but he's beat by Taroko to that ball.
It was a high ball for Rogue, but Turo's gonna make the most of it as well. He's gonna have First Killer close by. Couldn't make solid contact, so NRG get a quick transition, but that won't really get them much. It will die right past the midfield line. Garrett launched it downfield again. Slows the tap down in front, but Turo recovers. Back to First Killer. One-on-one, ground hop air dribble. Tried to force his way through, but Justin picks up the save as Squishy with a crucial follow-up. NRG holding on defense, but they need one more.
Still plenty of time to work with, at least 2 or 3 opportunities for NRG, and this is going to be a good one as Garrett G just puts a shot on target. Didn't think he could find the angle, but somehow, some way he does, as Justin slows this one down. And 30 seconds to go, Jorby, and Rogue just have to hang on.
They've been doing it. In fact, they've been putting more pressure on NRG on top of it, connecting on a lot of these passes in midfield. And right there, another solid challenge from Turo. I don't think Squishy even had an inkling that that was going to be challenged. Looking out. Didn't matter at the end. More time shoot off the clock for Rogue. Another ball for Justin. Too close to the box. Squishy had to come back quickly. The ball falls to the ground, and Rogue take the second game.
And they proved that God Kings can bleed as NRG dropped their first game of the day and looked somewhat mortal here as they were double committing. They were whiffing on some balls and just honestly looking like a shell of their former selves compared to game number 1. But for Rogue, I like the turnaround that we saw from them. They finally were coming out with some midfield passes and trying to get the ball out of the corners, which seemed to work wonders for them.
And I think it was fine for NRG to play that style of, we're going to catch that ball or at least trap it and move it out, because you said you felt like, NRG were giving Rogue the space to create better counterattack opportunities or just to take possession away. But, with those double commits and the positional errors, that just wasn't working for them, and they weren't able to ever actually get an advanced position on defense and actually force Rogue to go back beyond their own defensive third for boosts.
Yeah, NRG just seemed to not respect Rogue, honestly, and allowing them to go with those infield passes. And then finally, they got burned enough times where it's like, okay, we've got to start respecting this. And they finally had to have someone pull out a net, and that's where we saw Rogue with some success. And NRG trying to come out hot here in game number 3.
Maybe in the makings of a long one. Justin will start it off with Garrett. A good follow-up from Garrett, but it's all about maintaining the ball for Squishy. In fact, that's just headed the other way. Justin, short touch back to Garrett. Now they're having a little bit of space to work with. Garrett muscles up on the 50, and Justin sneaks it through Taroko. NRG with the first strike.
He just hides right behind Garrett G, and Taroko thought he was in the clear, but Justin sneaks through and just gives the ball a little poke. And that power seemingly came out of nowhere. And just like that, NRG strike first.
Rogue still finding the majority of the wins on the kickoff. Now, quick pass in front to Turo. Will go out to the side. But Turo gets right back to that challenge in front to Justin, and that's been part of what's been difficult for NRG. Is some of these challenges in first killer in front denied by Squishy. Probably the only way you keep them away from the net.
If that would have happened, Jorby, I think I would have lost my socks on that one. Incredible attempt there off that back wall, and Squishy just trying to get this ball into the blue half. Not the best pass, but look at the space Rogue's giving NRG. They're kind of saying, I dare you. Come on, try and shoot it. Trying to get NRG to get out of position.
Taroko launches it over one, but NRG a little more relaxed, or not relaxed, poised on defense in the rotations after the opening minute. Now Rogue, let the ball come back to their own back wall, and they'll just boom it downfield again. That's just going to retain NRG's possession. And first killer can't get back to this. Well, now NRG are starting to stretch Rogue on the blue half. Stole a lot of boosts, picking up the path as well. Now it's all about execution. Off the ceiling, Garrett, last man back. Going to take this up in the air himself. On the flip reset, he's got it. Missed the contact, though, and it'll be taken away by Taroko.
You can see him winding up for that one. He wanted to put every ounce of power he had into that shot. Just couldn't quite get that flip reset, but he does maintain possession, and this is starting to get a little hairy for Rogue. They've got to break out, and they finally do, and this is danger for NRG, but nobody goes up for Rogue as first killer was already committed.
No one really had the boost to deal with it either. Both teammates of Rogue were sitting a little far back on it. Now Justin behind the ball. Flip reset. He scoops the ball in the air. Garrett G converts, and NRG have a multi-goal lead.
Justin with the ice cream scoop of a pass. My goodness, look at the elevation he gets on that ball. First killer, no way he's defending that. And Garrett G, great follow-up on that play to extend the lead for NRG to 2.
Sometimes only a single scoop of ice cream can be all the satisfaction you need. Justin provides. Here's Garrett right in front of it. Taroko will move back out to the corner. And, well, first killer's got your back to follow that one up. Turo also speedy off the box, or off the really box line, if you will. Garrett G's already downfield. Oh, and Taroko diving stop for a save. I thought for sure it was a third NRG goal.
Wow, great vision on Taroko to see where Garrett G took off and see the trajectory that he had on that ball. Great defense coming out from him, but still, Rogue down by 2. First killer, oh, he couldn't get it under the crossbar. Great attempt at that redirect.
A couple of attempted redirects in front of the box by both teams now. They're feeling the pinch as soon as they get closer and closer to the box. Although NRG have already poked 2 holes through Rogue's defense, Rogue have yet to really put or turn the screw on NRG's defense. Only 3 shots on net, and a lot of lost 50s in front. First killer will get a win there. Taroko has Turo on the wing, just can't find contact. And that seems to be the issue for Rogue overall, is that solid contact on target. Maybe they pick it up here.
Oh, nice attempt there at first killer, and great shot placement going far post down low. Garrett G had to stretch for that one. And again, just off of his mark, but those are tough shots. The accuracy not going to always be there. As Squishy looking for the ceiling, finds it and makes contact with that ball. As we're near 1 minute to go here, Jorby, Rogue would love to find one here to make the job a little easier, but Justin going to make it that much harder with this double tap.
Yeah, it becomes nigh impossible with how Game 3 has looked. And Justin does it all himself. Turo tried to find the angle when he went up the back wall, but he has to make the read instantly as soon as he gets up there. He can't. Justin hits it above him. That's exactly where you don't want to be as a defender in a, you know, you got to be pretty much frame perfect on your read, the jump, the launch, and then where is Justin going to shoot the ball? And unfortunately, Turo wasn't perfect, and Justin is very happy with the result with a minute left.
Yeah, and this is next to impossible here for Rogue, but definitely get one for a feel-good goal and give you some confidence going into game number 4, and it almost came there off of that shot from Turo.
Still a lot of good ideas for Rogue. I think that, you know, they were hitting some of those redirects in front of the box. They still had good passing in the attacking third, but the difference was, you know, NRG weren't making those same mistakes that we saw last game. They weren't running into each other. They weren't double committing, and the contact was a lot more solid. Garrett G especially did a great job getting that ball out of harmful situations for NRG, and I think it really paved the way for this current 3-0 lead and possibly 3-0 victory in the final second, Subi.
Absolutely. NRG want to show that game 2 was nothing but an anomaly, that, hey, don't get used to that. We're not going to be making mistakes up and down the field. And this game, I don't think they made one, outside of maybe Justin not going for a kickoff right off the bat, but they weren't punished for it. So in my mind, this was a perfect game for NRG, allowing nothing from Rogue in the first shutout of our series.
Now, Rogue really wanting to have that breakout speed out of their own half. First Killer especially loves to break out quickly from the ground, from the corner, whichever way he can slice it, to just air dribble that ball. Either you force a favorable 50 or you outskill the first defender to give your second man a chance at the ball, and then that's where the passes start happening. But NRG were so good at catching the ball on those attempts from First Killer that it made it difficult for them to actually find any room on NRG's half.
Right, the one thing you do not give a one's main is space, and NRG limited the space that they gave to First Killer, and I can hear their comms right now. Just challenge him. I don't care. Just get the ball out of his hands and force him to make a move, and that's exactly what they did, and he couldn't operate with the limited amount of space that he was given. And game number 4 about to be underway. Jorby and Rogue need to come back with a big shot here.
You know, they came up big when they needed to in game 2, and Turo makes a great save. He's got to do it twice, maybe, but that shot was off target. That shot was off target as well. That shot not even close. Turo puts it out to the corner. NRG still hunt, but nobody is there for Garrett's pass, and they got away with murder, Rogue did on defense.
3 shots in the first 9 seconds. A shot coming out every 3 seconds is insane, and Garrett G's not dumb. Looking for a double tap. No, not going to come out. Rogue need to settle things down, get this ball back into the orange half so they can recollect themselves, and there it is, just what they needed.
Garrett back behind the ball. He's been good at getting the clears, and he'll get the ball right back downfield past 2 Rogue defenders, still behind it. Now Squishy gets kicked off the play, but Garrett takes it himself. Oh, and it's saved off the crossbar. Rogue still keeping the ball out of the net. Squishy trying to buy some time for Justin to come in, and the shot denied again. Taroko denying NRG what they think is their right, the first goal of the game. Squishy against the back wall, but nobody from NRG is there. They got to start from their own corner.
Rogue determined here in game number 4, holding down that back line so well, and those diving saves couldn't be done any better here, Jorby, as Justin, a little awkward and dangerously, carries that ball to the top of the box and turns it over right to Rogue, as First Killer just kind of pops this one up and says, let's see what you got, Garrett. And Turo didn't see Squishy up. Squishy passes it down to Justin. Justin with the shot and goal.
Perfect execution on the transition. Turo, you said it. I mean, he just had the worst angle against Squishy. Squishy had him beat to the ball the whole way. That sent the whole rotation for Rogue scrambling, but by that time, the ball was already in the net for NRG. They strike first again, Subi, and Rogue, you know, they got to find a way to take back the pace, take back the driver's seat of this match. Going down 3-1 in the set, we rarely see teams come back from that kind of mark.
I mean, it's very difficult against NRG, and I get NRG is going to consistently outshoot you. Right now, they're sitting at 6 shots to 0 from Rogue, and that demo not going to do much for Rogue. But before today started, for shot differential, NRG plus, whoa, more on that later as First Killer gets the flip reset and tucks it to bed under the crossbar.
He's just disgusting, dude. Like, that was just The pretty twirling. That's all I'm calling it. Air rolling under it to stabilize in the air, to actually have a chance to go for the flip reset, gets under it perfectly and puts it into the top. All right, first. That was cool.
And that's why you don't give him space. That's why you just put a challenge on him, because he's gonna do stuff like that.
Unless you're not immediately challenging him, I think he could get the flip reset out. Oh, Taroko just missing on the touch. First killer, no boost, will just punt it forth. Oh, and a nice pinch from Justin. Already downfield with Garrett. That was really tough to squeeze.
And like I was saying before, that nutty first killer goal, rather. NRG, prior to today, outshooting their opponents plus 147. And to put that in perspective, the next closest, G2, with 75. They are shooting the lights out. They just don't care. They are all about punches in bunches.
That's a ridiculous stat.
I mean,
it's more than double of the second team. That's crazy.
Exactly. It's crazy.
It just shows you the consistent strength of this squad. And even with the new player Taroko in on the Rogue roster, Rogue haven't had a lot of success against NRG leading up to this point. Up high against the crossbar, first killer will turn it up. It is a new look Rogue, and there is a different vibe to this team in this match alone. They've been able to trade some blows, but NRG still keep possession. Justin in front can do one just as well as first killer, but can't quite find the net. Squishy couldn't find the ball, and now a breakaway opportunity. Turo takes the shot, but not before Garrett can hop right on top of it.
Yeah, Justin didn't want to go for that double tap up that back wall. He had Squishy, and he knew it, but Garrett G, look at this second touch on the ball just to put a little bit around the outside of the defender.
Oh, that delayed flip. Oh, Garrett. That was great. What a shot. Truth's nuts. 2-1, NRG. Trying to go up 3-1 in the set and meeting Envy in the grand finals. NRG and Envy extremely familiar with each other. But Rogue really want to change things, flip the script in their favor. They got a minute to just tie it up to force a tied set. First killer in front. Can he find a dunk? No, Justin got it out to the side.
I'm always impressed at how relevant Garrett G always stays. I mean, you go all the way back to RLCS Season 3. Pick a season. And he has been at the top. And he has been at the top not only in forms of teams, but as well as his mechanics. He is just insane. Go for the demo and couldn't sneak that one in. Love the idea. Unfortunately, didn't go in.
Yeah, Garrett is in the heads of every Rogue player right now. And he's been going for a lot of cheeky mind games today, like the double, triple, quadruple fake, where he's like, I'm not ever gonna shoot, but they don't know. And now he's just making great touches, great plays overall. Squishy takes a shot. It's denied by first killer. Last chance for Rogue in game number 4. It gets denied by Garrett. One last push for Taroko. High off the ceiling. Justin got the grab. Turo can't get to it. NRG one away from meeting Envy in the grand final.
My goodness, you can tell that they are on a mission. They just want to get to the grand finals and obviously take this split home, but it's going to be a tough one as Rogue is standing right in their way. And Rogue have had flashes of brilliance, but we need to see just a consistent 5 minutes of brilliance from them. And it's just impossible to do against NRG right now, especially with those shots that they're putting on target.
And their NRG's ability to get the ball out on defense, like their breakout ability on the transition, has been something Rogue haven't been able to contend with. They're not winning the necessary 50 in that attacking third, and NRG just find too many lanes to clear through for Rogue. If they can find a way to clamp that down, like that's part of what worked so well for Rogue in the first game, right? NRG unable to find a clearance lane that wasn't their own corner. This time, like, NRG had so many free transitions, they even scored once off of it. So it's crunch time. The war drums sound on Wasteland Night, and NRG look to crush Rogue in a 5-game set on the path to the grand final. We're underway.
On another disgusting pass in midfield from NRG, constantly keeping their opponents on their toes, not knowing when a shot is going to be coming out.
Justin opting to keep it close. And not the challenge you're hoping for as first killer, but always the follow-up you're hoping for out of Taroko. Now he's just gonna go for the demo in front, try to find the touch for first killer. Taroko pops it up, a beautiful T, 1-0 Rogue.
This is one of the greatest passes we've seen all day. My goodness, going from the demo to just putting his sights on the ball to stop it on a dime for first killer. And Rogue looking to come out with the upset here against NRG.
I mean, like Taroko, so you're thinking, so first killer hits that ball, right? And you're like, oh, that's gonna be a quick pass to Taroko. But then Taroko goes immediately for the defender to cut him out, and then just matches pace with him on the shadow, and then gets the pass to first killer. Like, I mean, that was an insane from Taroko on that push.
The things that these guys are capable of, just day in and day out, just never ceases to amaze me. And when you think they're done, they're not. As Squishy puts that one off of the backboard, and Taroko has to go up. Rogue looking for a clear here.
First killer plays it slow, able to beat Garrett, but doesn't have enough boost to challenge Squishy to the ball. Rogue can't get it by their own corner right now. First killer will pop it up over one, but now they need the follow-up, and they have all of NRG back on the rotation. So a chance for Rogue to get set up on offense. Beating Garrett to the ball was Taroko, and now midfield. Can NRG get there, or can Rogue really start to put the pressure down? Turo found first killer on a small opening, but NRG get out on the transition again.
And NRG are unknowingly giving Rogue the opportunity of booming clears, and also booming clears that have a good look at net as Turo trying to go backdoor on Garrett G, and Justin comes at the perfect time. But Rogue need to survey the field just a little better on defense and look at what NRG's giving to them as first killer gets that ball around the defender. Doesn't find its mark, but good job on the clear there by first killer.
Taroko had a shot, and it's denied. They were able to get that ball out to the corner. Another save in front might be needed. Taroko couldn't get to it in time, though. Turo converts midfield boost into a push. Can't really get by Justin, who's been a nuisance to get by. Every time he's been last man, he's been able to catch that ball, get it out. First killer, one fake. First killer flips it up in front of the box, but the rest of Rogue, that was just to buy time around in midfield. Justin's got nothing in the tank, but he'll steal one out. Rogue can't get through on a transition. NRG steal the ball away again.
Rogue starting to look very comfortable, and there's that clear I was talking about, Jorby. It's presenting itself almost every time down the field, and Garrett G gets up in time for the save.
Wow.
As first killer, great back pass, but he didn't see Garrett G there, and Garrett G, great interception.
Garrett doing everything on that play. His jump off the line was immaculate to pick up that save. And that was tough from the position he was in. Now first, he has the space against Squishy, so easily work his way around him. But Garrett makes the challenge happen, buys a little bit of time for Squishy to get the recovery, but they can't really find a way out. Justin refuses to leave the ground until he knows he has a clearance lane out. You're gonna play that second man a little more relaxed against first killer, as Squishy has to play it out to the left corner.
Well, that's a great challenge from Squishy. An awkward ball for Turo. He can't go up. Garrett G's already there. And a great demo from Taroko. Squishy had his eyes set on the prize and instantly flashed right before him as Garrett G puts a shot on target and turned away. The defense continues to be incredible by Rogue, but just at the last second, it falters.
Squishy hits the Bardowski. Turo a bounce off of the crossbar, and it was a perfect layup for Squishy to put right into the top of the net. All NRG needed. And as much as Justin has been good on the defensive side at, carrying that ball out, taking it away from Rogue, Garrett G overall has been rock solid. And I don't know the last time I think I could have said, wow, Garrett really had a poor performance there. He always delivers consistency for NRG, no matter the situation. Rogue trying to fight forth for another goal. They haven't been able to generate a ton of offense, stands those few shots that NRG played defensively so well. First killer.
Oh, Rogue fan, that's what you want to see, is first killer going for those double taps, because that's where they've found success. He has 3 goals on the day out of the 6 that Rogue has gotten, and this is gonna force Turo. I saw Garrett up, but Turo a little faster to cut out that passing lane.
Always dangerous. sitting along that backboard. Now the final seconds. Garrett can't get much more done on the play. First killer gets 2 solid touches towards the corner, but NRG find the clear yet again. Do they even have a chance to score? Garrett has ball cam off, going to get up against the corner. Just wanted to make sure he wasn't away from that ball, that he could get the catch. Doesn't matter, overtime.
You saw Garrett G pull off the ball, content to go into overtime, confidence in his team. But they've got to get this ball out of their half as Garrett G pushes forward, and Justin gonna bomb this one forward. And oh, I thought Garrett was gonna get first killer in midair there.
Back over to the side wall. Rogue just trying to force game 6. NRG would love to end things right here. They're going to play Envy, but Taro has something to say about it. Was able to keep the ball locked in front. First killer has a shot, and it's just wide, taken away by Justin anyway. Turo launches it downfield again, knows he can get by a couple of NRG defenders. First killer has a good look at the ball. Back into the corner, wants a pass, but Toroko had to dive from across the field to get there. Now Turo, it's his turn, but NRG won't let them through the box. Nice carry from Justin to get back around. Justin pops it over one, but first killer got it back out to the side again. Rogue's defense has been excellent in this game, but can it pole vault them over NRG in game number 5? Difficult so far. Justin got bumped. Squishy got bumped. Where's the shot? Denied by Squishy. He's got no boost. And Rogue are able to play it back out to the corner. Turo got the pass. Hiroko can't find a shot, and things slow down for just a second for NRG.
Oh, but here comes Justin looking to end the game and not quite gonna do it, as first killer gonna push this ball right back into the orange half. He's looking for a double tap himself. He almost finds it. Hiroko, big swing and miss, and Turinturo can't end the game as Justin there for another crucial save for NRG.
Garrett behind the ball now, wants a challenge, he gets it, and Justin wasn't expecting it. He thought that was gonna be a loss, so NRG gonna be a little slow on the turnaround, but he gotta look at the net anyway. That was Squishy on the last push. Rogue got the ball in midfield, almost caught out NRG on a 1v1, but they get away with it. Nice catch, nice pass, nice shot. Rogue forced the next game. They're still in it.
And they don't crumble when the pressure presents itself. Rogue holding on in overtime and forcing NRG into their own half. And this was all Rogue all game long. They continued to put the pressure on. And NRG, definitely not out of it yet, but they're starting to look more and more like they are beatable.
The beginning of this game, where NRG put 3-4 shots on net, all denied by Rogue, what was pretty telling for how the rest of the set was going to go. Not just for Rogue's defense, but also NRG's defense, which looked really solid. Both teams trying to use their hoods to outplay each other on the dribbles, on the air dribbles, on the carries, trying to trip each other up in any kind of situation to give them the edge, just because neither team had that much space, Subi, to do anything. It was such a tight battle the whole way through.
It was just pedal to the metal from the get-go. Both teams playing so fast. But that goal at the end of OT, you could almost sense that it was coming. NRG was just getting weathered down, and that ball going left to right, right to left, finally open up enough space on that goal line. And I think Rogue has what it takes to bring NRG down, but it's going to be a tough one, especially with Justin and the shots that he's pulling out, but more importantly, his boost management and all of NRG's boost management. Actually, it's just insane how well they play when boost isn't prevalent.
And we are getting the lobby set back up, and we'll be back into the game as soon as possible. Should only take a moment here. We thank you guys for your patience. So this got a lot tighter just now. I thought that NRG, after they tied it up, they started to really take control of the game. Justin especially was doing a great job in that third man role, like finding the catch in the corner, tripping up the first and even second man on Rogue's offense to give NRG a chance on those transitions. But then Rogue, also were able to do the same thing against Justin in, all right, we're going to be able to catch the ball, carry it away from you, make you look silly, and we're going to go on offense. And it's a battle of two great defenses right now.
Yeah, and you're seeing that the first man, his job isn't to try and score. Your first job is to get that ball around the first defender and pull that defender out of net. And so many times we've seen Justin and Squishy able to do that. They're getting that ball around that first defender, and it's putting Rogue down a man, giving the advantage over to NRG, and NRG able to capitalize. But the difference in that game was Rogue was reading the field and saying, hey, they're pushing up a little too close. Let's push this ball down the field and then work our offense out of the corners. And that's what they're doing, is surveying the field. And that's what they need to do to find success, rather, against this NRG squad, because they're playing so aggressive right now that they're almost too aggressive in a way. They just need to slow it down a little bit.
And it always looks dangerous for both teams down the field. And I really don't know what's going to happen in Game 6. But we will have Game 6 for you guys as quickly as possible. We're going to go to a short break and be right back. We'll see you real short. And we're back from a really short break. Subi and I both bringing you guys Game 6 of Rogue versus NRG in this loser final match. Winner going to play Envy in the grand final. Players are taking their sides of the pitch. We're on Neo Tokyo. We've given you our thoughts on it, but this gameplay has told the story on its own. It's been fast, high-flying, high-action gameplay, Subi, and I don't doubt that Game 6 is going to deliver another.
I don't either. I just am crossing my fingers and hoping that we can get to a Game 7, because these teams have proven that we deserve to be taken there.
Rogue with first killer, trying to start it on the flip reset, or attempted one, didn't get it. And Taroko wasn't the best touch to buy time, but Turo did get back in time. Garrett has the pass in front, and enough for off the crossbar for Squishy. Justin couldn't find it either off the crossbar, and Rogue, kind of similar to what we saw, the whole way back in Game 3. But NRG couldn't score on the first strike. Garrett pops it up above one.
Wasn't that last game? I feel like we're watching a replay of last game where they can't hit shots. And again, Justin off the crossbar. Squishy a little too high, and Garrett G turned away by first killer. Rogue doing a great job at keeping the Wolves at bay here, but eventually they're going to crack if they keep allowing this many shots.
Yeah, can't rely on the fourth man too often. Or maybe they can. Who knows? Maybe NRG will only hit the crossbar for the rest of the game. Here's an attempted double. Justin in the net. Beautifully done. 1-0 NRG.
Well, if you let him warm up that much in the first minute, obviously he's going to hit this double tap, and that's an easy one for Justin. He puts the power on it, and the defender, all he can do is hope and pray that he puts a touch on it.
And good for NRG. You don't want that curse sitting in the back of your mind. There is no curse. Squishy launched this ball into the top corner. Pixel perfect on the placement.
And you hate to see easy kickoff goals go in, unless you're an NRG fan, that is. But one of the easiest goals that you can prevent are those kickoff goals. You just got to work on them a little cleaner. And first killer, you saw him go immediately back to net on that one. He learned his lesson.
This is where I start to get scared for Rogue, though. Because once NRG take a lead, they rarely give it up. And Rogue, especially in the game where NRG were able to get out to a multi-goal lead, they struggled to put on consistent offense. But they flex through the goal again. Turo bulldozes his way to the net.
such a selfless play coming out from First Killer, and that dunk from Turo right in the face of Justin. Whew. Rogue firing on all cylinders and keeping themselves in this game.
Up in front, NRG trying to keep Turo and First Killer away from this ball. Justin, not sure how that was going to develop in front of him, but he got the save, and now he's got to clear. A little bit of boost on top of it. A clear lane, and Justin gets NRG up by 2 again.
Once Justin saw this demo come out, he knew all he had to do was get this ball over Turo, and Turo didn't have the boost and accidentally jumped up. You saw him try to wave dash to gain some momentum, but too little, too late as Justin extends the lead back to 2 for NRG.
High ball for First Killer. He's going to have a lot of space to work with, and a little bit of boost too, forcing the save out, and it will be knocked back out to the corner for Garrett. That's going to be a good ball for Justin in front. Tried to catch it, but it kicked out away from him. First Killer back over to Turo. First Killer a catch again, pops it up again. First Killer scores! Beautiful carry across the pitch!
Is there anything that he can't do, Jorby? 1, 2, and then the third to go over Garrett G. First Killer trying to will Rogue to victory.
That was impressive stuff from First Killer. And it was a breadth of options that he had. He could have taken it himself. He could have left it for his second man, who was sitting close behind him, ready in case First Killer was going to pop it back towards him or just pop it up for a pass. But no, he just dazzles all on his own. And now Rogue get the demo in front. A bouncing shot forcing Justin to pick up the save. Turo screening Justin off the play, but he gets there first. And Rogue have to get a little creative moving down the pitch now. A couple of one too many touches in the air have really decimated NRG's attempts to shovel this ball away from Rogue's hoop.
And Garrett G just kind of driving around in the blue half, hoping Justin could find him with an outlet pass, but does not happen. His First Killer, great read on that side wall, but Squishy is there, and NRG trying to weather down the defense of Rogue here is going left to right and right to left and just going in those corners. And again, it just seems like Rogue having a difficult time to read what NRG's presenting, and that's a great dump-off pass up to Garrett G.
Cut off in midfield, sent the whole Rogue rotation out of whack. Turo took the riskiest launch that I think I've seen today, jumping the whole way from the back of his box, thinking he could outspeed the opponent in midfield, which left a wide open gap in front. And Rogue got a fight from 2 down yet again. Squishy challenged against First Killer. And Stubby, I know that the max speed in Rocket League is supersonic. It feels like both of these teams are trying to achieve light speed with how this has gone. Turo sends that one back out to the corner for First Killer.
It's supersonic, hypersonic, light speed. Either way, you're not going to go any faster than NRG. Some of the speediest guys that we know. And here comes Justin. And right when we talk about their speed is when they slow it up. As 1 minute remains here, Rogue trying to chase 2 goals to keep their hopes alive, but NRG doing everything they can to prevent that.
And Rogue trying to keep it locked in the orange half, but now they just have to buy time for the rest of them to recover. Backboard's been clear, but no one in midfield quickly enough. First Killer had to dive pretty far. NRG already have someone set up downfield. Turo can only hope it doesn't come straight back towards him. And it does! And he gets punished! Justin puts another in! NRG playing with house money!
NRG gonna be pushing themselves into the grand finals, and Envy got their work cut out for them because NRG looking like all 3 members are playing of their best selves.
And for Rogue, Turo sitting at the bottom with 74 points, has been struggling to have consistent boost and just struggling to be in those high value spots that Rogue need him to be in. The ones that push the play forward and help keep this match close. But NRG, too strong. Here, Garrett, 1 touch, 2 touches. Where's the follow-up? While the rest of NRG are set to sit on their laurels. In a tournament of surprises, 1 team remains consistent.
Why not?
NRG fight their way through the lower bracket. They'll go see Envy in the grand finals.
Well, it doesn't look like they have too many weaknesses today. They are the team to beat, in my opinion. I know that Team Envy still has one life, but I feel like they're going to need that life going up against the three-headed Hydra of NRG.
It is definitely going to be a final. It's going to be a final, Subi. How about that? NRG and Envy, I think this is the 13th time, if we include Grid, 13 or 14th time they've played against each other, and not even their first grand final appearance against each other. So that is the match we have coming up next. And if you like this one, the next one might put you off your seat and onto your feet. You don't want to miss it. We'll have the grand finals after the break.